They say that hindsight is 2020, so it is in that spirit that I wanted to talk a little bit about the comic book community, things that I recognize now about the community that I wish that I knew back then. Stay tuned. Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to talk about the comic book community and things that I know now that I wish that I knew then. The very first thing that I want to start off with is the reality that the comic book community is filled with more good than bad. And there are some days where it feels like the complete opposite, but sometimes the bad apples are very vocal. This is something that I recognize now that I did not recognize before. I felt like we should all be getting along all the time, but that is not the reality at all. And I think that the community has changed a lot over the years that I've been back since 2017, but I firmly believe that there is more good than bad. Now, keep that in mind as I go through the rest of this video. The second thing that I want to talk about is opinions versus facts. Early on, I did not fully appreciate that people in the community would pass their opinions off as fact. I remember feeling like I was doing everything wrong. From bagging and boarding a comic to reading a comic to my personal preferences about comics, I felt like I was doing it all wrong because people were passing their opinions, their personal preferences off on me as if they were fact. That is a huge learning. That was a huge learning for me, and maybe it is for some of you out there that are newly back to the hobby or just new to the hobby in general. People's opinions and personal preferences are not facts. That's it. Doesn't get any better than that. The third thing that I want to talk about is the reality that there are a lot of people out there that know a little about a lot, and there are some people that know a lot about a little. It is in that last group that there is honestly a sweet spot. What I have learned is that there are a small group of people out there that know a lot about specific topics. There are people that specialize in Golden Age comics. There are people that specialize in specific artists from the Golden Age. There are people that specialize in DC comics. There are people that specialize in the Silver Age. My point here is that there are a lot of generalists out there, but there are also these core people that know a lot about a specific topic. And depending upon your passions, your interests, you definitely want to find those that know a lot about a little and hold on to those people because they are valuable resources that are in this community. Another huge learning for me personally was the reality that there are all types of people that find their way to this hobby. And what I mean by that is that there are a lot of folks that have some preferences that I care nothing about, and vice versa, right? Like originally I thought that everybody liked the exact same stuff that I like, superheroes and spandex, but I've come to realize that there are some folks that don't like superheroes and spandex. That's not what floats their boat. There are some people that love comics for the art. There are some that love it for the stories. There are some that only prefer DC and not Marvel. There's others that enjoy indies. My point here is that there are a lot of places for people to gravitate to when it comes to this hobby. But the wonderful thing is that there is still a common core. We all still read comic books that have photos and words. At the end of the day, it is still that. Now, we are motivated by different things, but that's actually okay. The fifth and final point that I want to make is about impact. When I came back into this hobby in 2017, I had no appreciation for the impact that I could potentially have on this hobby as a whole. I was just a guy that was creating videos in my kitchen, and I had no clue what would happen over the last several years, of course. But the reality is that this isn't about me. It's actually about you. And I say that because each one of us is a member of this community, and we all can contribute to this community. We all can have an impact. through the things that we post up on social media, the comments that we leave behind, the interactions that we have with our fellow collectors. We all have an impact, either positive or negative. With that said, I want to wrap this video up. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I certainly want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment behind. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I want to encourage you to do that right now. Go ahead and tap the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and that way you won't miss out on any of the content that comes out from my channel. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. 1G.
Dirty rapper rolling.